So now 2021 is upon us. Thank goodness. Good riddance 2020. Oh my gosh, happy new year. This is the first video I'm doing. First video I'm doing in the new year. Happy New Year! I hope you had a wonderful New Year's Eve. So yeah, like I was saying, I want to do some more tutorials on my channel. Now, I can't stress this enough. I am not a professional makeup artist. I am not professionally trained, but nonetheless, I am so proud of myself with how far I've come in terms of my makeup skills from where I started to now. I am pretty sure I've developed some really helpful tips and tricks that I know I would have really appreciated knowing when I first started my makeup journey. And I thought I would share them with you guys. So the first look I'm going to be doing a tutorial on is this eye look right here, which is a super basic halo slash spotlight eye. If you want to see future tutorials, then make sure you subscribe down below if you haven't already. If you have already, thank you so much for returning. And if you're excited for this video, make sure to give it a huge thumbs up down below as well and keep watching. Okay, so just before we start, I'm just editing the footage right now, and I just thought I'd warn you guys that I go in and out of focus quite often throughout this video. I think it's because I'm so kind of zoomed in, the camera's not sure whether to focus on my hand or my face. I really hope it's not too distracting. I'm going to try and sort it out for the next video, but just thought I'd pre-warn you. But let's get into it. The palette I am going to use to do this look with you guys is the LA Splash eyeshadow palette. I literally think it is literally just called the eyeshadow palette because there's no other name on it. Imaginative. The reason I've chosen this palette is because it has some really nice neutral shades that pretty much everybody has in their makeup drawer. Obviously this matte white, and then some nice transition shades, a matte brown, matte black, and then some shimmers. We are going to stick to this top line though. As you can see, I've stuck to the matte shades, avoided the black and the shimmers just because I wanted to keep this look pretty basic, something that everybody feels comfortable wearing. So the first step, I'm going to grab a blending brush. This is the Spectrum B07 blending brush. And I'm just going to grab this shade right here, which is called Sunstone, which is just kind of a nice nudie colour. And I'm going to mix it with a little bit of Argonite, just to create my transition shade. But I do want to keep it super light, and I'm going to pack that in my crease, and I'm not going to blend it out too much. I'm going to keep it quite close to the lid just because I don't really want a super blown out look. I did create this look to be quite versatile, something that you could wear, you know, maybe if you were going for brunch, but also, you know, equally if you were going on a night out. So I'm not going to drag it out kind of all the way to my temple, but I'm literally just going to dust it somewhat towards the tail of my eyebrow. Just gonna add a little bit more of the Argonite, just blow it off so there's not so much product on the brush, and then I'm just gonna take that slightly closer to the crease, literally basically just rubbing it in my crease. Now with the same brush and exactly the same shade, I'm gonna go in a little bit more intense with the product. So I'm gonna not dust off any product from the brush, and I'm just going to pack that right on the outer corner of my eyelid. And I'm not kind of blending, I'm literally just I'm patting it onto the outer corner. I'm being super careful not to take it too close to the center of my eye because we want to keep that little circle in the middle of our lid nice and clean for the spotlight shade. Just going to blend that slightly into the transition shade, and then with exactly the same technique I'm going to do exactly the same on the inner corner. Again, blending that out into the transition shade. If you feel like you're adding too much product, you can always go in with a clean brush and just buff it out just to disperse the product a little bit more. So now I'm going to get a slightly more compact brush, and I'm going to dip into Tiger's Eye, which is this matte brown, and I'm going to pop that directly. I'm not blending it out into the transition, I'm going to pop it directly on the lid in the outer corner. I want the product to be really kind of concentrated in that corner. And again, exactly the same on the inner corner as well. Okay, so now it's looking super, super messy. I'm gonna go in with the same blending brush as before, and I'm just going to very lightly blend that out into the transition shade. So you could quite easily leave it at that, but I think on the other eye it's a little bit more intense, so I am just going to continue going back and forward between those two steps until I've got the intensity that I want. I'm just going to brush away that fallout. It should dust away pretty easily because I have powdered down my under eyes. So this is where the magic happens. I have a nice flat brush here, and I'm going to go in with selenite. Why do they come up with such crazy names? Anyway, selenite. And then I'm just going to pop that where we've left the gap in the center of my eyelid. I'm going to take it slightly above the crease, just so that you can still see it. You know, if you were planning on wearing lashes, you want the spotlight to be peeking out above the lashes. And then with the same blending brush, I'm just going to go ahead and blend those edges together. That is another good thing about this palette, is the colours just blend together so nicely. It's just so effortless. You don't need to do it. It's not so much work to get a seamless blend. So what I like to do to finish off this look, I kind of like to mirror what I've done on the eyelid under the eye as well. So I'm going to go in with my transition shade and just pop that on the outer edge of my waterline, and then on the inner edge as well. Again, leaving a gap directly underneath where the white is above the eye. And then just with a super small, precise, compact brush, going in with Tiger's Eye, and then just popping that right underneath my waterline. Just gonna blend that out. And again, just with the same flat brush, going in with selenite, and just popping that in the center right there. Blending it in with the other colours. And then finally, all you need is an inner corner highlight, if you want. Obviously, not necessary, but I do think it just kind of pulls together the whole look. This is the e.l.f. Moonlight Pills single highlight. So I'm just going to whiz off camera and pop on some mascara. I'm not actually going to do lashes with this look because, like I said, I want this to be a look that kind of anyone can do, and a lot of people aren't comfortable with lashes. And I did just want to show you that this look can be worn without lashes quite easily and still look absolutely bomb. But if you want to put lashes on, will also look banging, go for it. But yeah, I'll be right back. And this, my friends, is the final look. The mascara that I used is the Benefit They're Real mascara. I just think this look is just so nice and subtle, nice and neutral, but it's also quite sexy. You can also smoke it out. You can add a black on top of the brown, make it even more kind of like sultry and smoky. But then again, you can totally strip it back. You don't even really need the dark brown in the outer corners. I just think that adds a little bit more depth. It's totally personal preference. You can do this look however you want, but I really do hope I showed you how easy it can be to create a nice, simple halo slash spotlight eye. So if you want to see any other specific tutorials from me, then make sure you let me know down below in the comments. It doesn't have to be an eye look. It can be, but it doesn't have to be. It could be how to do a fluffy brow, how to do a nose contour, how to line your lips, etc, etc. Just let me know and I will be happy to oblige. But for now, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you again for another video.